The seller actually wanted $1.8 million for this property. So I'm going to plug in the purchase price, $1.8 million bucks, okay? Up here on the left. The next box is CapEx leveraged. Typically what this means is that I'm going to be getting a construction loan and then I'm going to be wrapping it into the mortgage. Well, in this case, we're not doing that, so I don't need to put any money here. 9 times out of 10, or even 99 times out of 100, you're going to leave this place blank. Now, if you're getting a construction loan because you're planning on doing some type of redevelopment or restructuring the building, you can add that money here. Next is DD, legal and civil. What this box is specifically for is obviously any and all due diligence, your attorney fees, any civil fees. So you're going to be putting something in the ballpark, and just for really quick numbers, I would typically like to say you're going to probably put something like 1% of purchase minimum. We're right now at 1.8, obviously adjusting it because I would probably never pay 1.8, but you're going to see why. But in this instance, I'm putting roughly 15 grand. I could probably even get away with maybe 10,000 bucks here. You could put somewhere between 0.5%, maybe 1%. But again, I want you to think about it. You have to do all, property inspections, and this property would probably cost, a few thousand bucks for a property inspection. My attorney cost is going to be 5 grand. Any other title costs or anything else that I'm going to pay for, I'm going to be paying at least 10,000, maybe 15,000 bucks, right? In this instance, we can even leave it at 15 grand. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit overzealous a little bit. My closing costs. This is for a mortgage specifically, right? Like, how much money am I going to pay in fees when getting my mortgage? It's probably not going to be 50 grand. Let's just say in this instance, it's probably going to be around maybe 30,000 bucks if I paid 1.8 million. Again, these are really quick, rough ballparks. Again, talk to a lender. You can get a quick gauge. You don't need to spend too much time on it. You can look at roughly 2% in closing costs here, 1% roughly in closing costs here. That puts us at around 45K. The seller wants 1.8. We're gonna ballpark it here, but you'll get my point. This already will calculate, by the way, based on the number you put down here, what your down payment is. So, by the way, syndication fee is like, okay, hey, I want to make, let's just say on this deal, I want to make 100,000 bucks in a syndication fee, $50,000 for a syndication fee, 25 grand for a syndication fee. For all of you syndicators out there, you'll just plug it in here. In this case, I probably am not going to buy this property at 1.8 million, but if we buy it for less, then of course we can add probably a 1% syndication fee possibly. This is a multifamily property. You're always going to start with quarter one. We deal specifically with quarters for distributions and everything else, so everything built out in this platform is for quarters, not monthly, not yearly. The loan is starts on year one. A multifamily property is going to be able to have a term of 30 years. Other commercial assets are probably going to be 25 or even 20 years. You obviously will like to, you should definitely talk with your lender to get a better idea. What I typically do is multifamily is always 30 years, and for any other asset class, I typically will do 25 years, and then if it's like something very, let's just say like if I'm buying a car wash as an example, right? Or if I'm buying liquor stores, right? Like if I'm buying a laundromat, a business that's included, you're getting an SBA loan. You might be able to also get a little bit longer of a loan, or a little bit shorter of a loan. Just make sure that you speak with your lenders to get a little bit more of a clarity or an idea of exactly what that looks like if you're not sure. Long story short, industrial, retail, and office space, you could typically do a 20 or 25-year term. And for multifamily, you're typically going to be at roughly a 30-year term, just about every time. At least for all the assets I bought.